All right, we are going to blend two layers together. So this is where we are going to actually impose a background behind our picture. Okay. So make sure you're in Photoshop. Okay, you're going to want to pull open the picture that you're going to use, which is right here. This is the one I'm going to use. And then you're also going to need to open up the background that you're going to want to impose over it. Okay. Make sure your picture and your background are similar in size. So if you go up to image size, you can check that out. Like right now my background is 8 by 11 and my picture of my daughter is 8 by 12. So they're similar in size. They don't have to be perfect, they just need to be close. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is go ahead and use this marquee tool. Make sure it's the rectangle, and you're just going to go ahead and select the areas of the photo that you're going to want to use. Okay, just like so. Go up to Edit and Copy. Go over to the picture of the background. Go up to Edit and Paste. Okay. Now you can see over here in the Layers panel, you have your background layer, and you have your other layer one, which is now the picture of whoever's portrait you shot. Okay. Next thing you're going to do, very simply, is go over here to the opacity tool, okay, and you're going to lower the opacity. When you start doing that, you're going to see your background come through. Okay. So depending on where you want, how you want this to look will depend on your opacity. Obviously, you're going to want to show your portrait more than this, so you're probably going to want your opacity, somewhere between 70 and maybe 80, depending. Okay, so now I have my background on. Maybe you decide, well, my background's not exactly where I want it to be. Okay, you have a couple options there. You can click on your top layer, Control T. Okay, and if you hit Shift, you can, make your portrait larger, smaller, depending on, if you want to work with that background a little bit. Okay, you can also click on your background layer, do the same thing, Control T, and then you can move your background layer around, make it bigger or smaller. Just make sure you hit Shift. Okay, so maybe I don't really like where that circle is, like this thing right here, and I want to move that. So I can do that. Maybe I want to kind of have that fall kind of right on the eye. That looks kind of neat. Okay. That looks good. Make sure you hit Enter. Another thing you can do, if you click on your top layer and you add a layer mask is this button down here that looks like a rectangle with a white circle in the middle. If you hit that, it's going to create a layer mask. It's kind of similar, pretty much similar to what we did with the color splash. You go ahead and over here to your brush tool, and you turn your opacity down just a little bit here. Okay. And click on your airbrush tool, change the size of your brush. Okay. Make sure black is selected here over on the color panel. Okay. If you select white, things are going to get strange. And you can actually paint onto certain areas of your background, and it will reveal the color underneath. So maybe I wanted to make a couple of these petals like really bright and kind of stand out more in the foreground. Okay, that's something I could do by creating a layer mask. Okay, so play around with that. Kind of you can get the, I just did that on the layer mask there. Look, that looks really weird with the eye. I'm going to Control-Alt-Z that. We don't like that. Maybe I'll do it here where this bubble is. Okay, so you can create some really cool effects by creating a layer mask. Okay, and then of course just make sure when you're finished, you go File, Save As, and save your work.